How I
Okay,
discovered my
guys,
sister
good
was a
afternoon,
witch.
family. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. This is the beginning of a series of videos that I'm going to do that exposes witches in your circle, exposing witches in your family or in your friend group. Okay, and mind you, I'm 38 years old, right? I just realized it last year at 37 of the witches that were around me, praying against me, doing rituals, paying people to harm me and my family. So let's get into it. I'm going to start off by talking about my sister. She, I just discovered that she may have been paying someone in Jamaica to harm me and my family. So ever since I was a child, I realized that my sister did not like me. She did not, care too much for me. She is 11 years my senior. Okay, and I remember her giving me these death stares in the car. So if I'm sitting in the car, I can see her in the rearview mirror and she's like, and then when she would notice that I catch her, she would pop up, pop out of it and pop back, into it and try to play it off. I was too young to understand what that was about. And I didn't even do anything to her. So I was confused and I kind of just always kept it in the back of my head, right? So I would catch her in these moments, these menacing like stares. You would have thought like that I slept with her husband or that I tried to kill her before or I stole all her money out of her bank account. Never did anything like that. So the first instance that I remember that my sister hated me, I was 17 years old. She had opened a skincare business and she was just starting the hair part of her skin business. So she wanted me to come in and do their hair using her skin and hair products. And she was also doing hair as well, even though she really couldn't do hair that well. But I came in to help her, to support her. I had already been doing hair for 2 years. I started doing hair at 15. I was doing locks, mainly doing natural hair. So I was taught how to do locks, how to care for locks in that sense. So my sister had a client that she wanted me to do, and the client came to her home, and the client had long and fairly small, like skinny locks. And so we were 2 hours into the hairstyle, and I had about the middle to finish. So I probably would have been done like less than an hour. So would have took like another 45 minutes. So, you know, coming to get your hair done and it taking 2.5 to almost 3 hours is not out of the ordinary. But my sister started to become extremely upset and she started to lash out at me. Why are you taking so long? It's been 2 hours. Like literally, we were just sitting there chilling. The lady was fine. She was comfortable, you could tell. And then my sister just starts going in like, what are you doing? Why are you taking so long? It's been 2 hours. You know what? Get out, get out. I said, but I just started her. I mean, it's only been 2 hours and I'm just starting the middle of her hair. It's not going to take me long. Who are you talking back to? Why are you getting smart? You have to get out. So I had to leave her apartment. Mind you, I was 17. Cell phones were either just coming out or they just came out with the flip phone, the Nokia phone. I did not have a phone yet. So I'm outside in Elkins Park, which is the county. It was dark. And when I get to Cheltenham, I walk to Cheltenham from her house and I see a person. I call them and I'm able to call my mom so she can come pick me up. Well, what she wound up doing is the next day she apologized only because the woman whose hair I was doing told her about herself. She said, yeah, the woman said that, she everything was fine with me, that I didn't do anything wrong. She said, the lady told her that I didn't do anything wrong. And the lady actually told her that, she should apologize. And my sister probably felt stupid after that. But to this day, that's the only time she's apologized for anything. And I'm going to tell you the other worst things that she's done. So the next incident, I was like around 23, and my daughter was one and a half, about to be two, or almost two. And I was looking for a daycare or a school for her. My sister said, okay, if you find a daycare, I will pay half. Just let me know what school, blah, 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 blah. So I called her literally the next morning when I found the daycare. I said, okay, Chanel, I'm going to pay half, and she said she was going to pay the other half. And I was calling her that morning that my daughter was supposed to start school. No answer from her. And I had texted her like, hey, sis, are you still going to be able to help with the half of paying for the school? It was only $50. It was $100 a week, $50. Okay. So, when I didn't get a response, I was like, okay, well, she must be busy. But then she texted my phone like, why are you crying the single mother song? Why don't you get your baby dad to pay it? And it was just like crying the single mother song. So now it seems like you're trying to insult me. You're trying to be malicious and mean for no reason. And, I don't need you. You offered to help your niece, offered to help pay for her school. So that's something that she was trying to bring shame to me. She was trying to make me feel bad or feel bad about myself because I was a single mother. But at the end of the day, my daughter's father was not a deadbeat, and if I needed him to either watch her or, do something for my daughter, for the most part, he was there. Like, I didn't have to go through that. So I was just confused why she would attack me this way out of nowhere for nothing. I had done nothing to her. Okay, so then okay, we get into the next thing. The next major thing that happened was my grandmother got extremely sick. Now, she had an disagreement between my grandmother's husband and my sister. They had a disagreement. They were arguing, and basically my sister wanted my grandmother to have her side, and when my grandmother didn't, my sister hated my grandmother. She held a grudge with my grandmother for 5 years. She would not talk to her. She would not see her. And then, mind you, our grandmother raised my sister. My mother was very young, like 16 or 17 when she had my daughter. And, my grandmother still required my mom to go to school and to work. And so, during that time, my grandmother stepped in and she was there. Now, mind you, my sister's father, she's only met him maybe twice because he didn't want anything to do with her. And, speaking about this is when I noticed that the spirit of rejection has crept in and has manifested and has turned, something in her. So my sister let me know that she was not going to, she said, you guys are not going to like me. When you were born, I figured that you guys were not going to like me because, you guys were lighter than me. My thing is, just listening to her and just hearing like where your mindset is, that you would assume that we wouldn't like you because of your skin color. And I am a baby. I am an innocent child. You're already looking on me as with resentment and with jealousy because my father was in the picture. Not only was my father in the picture, but my mother and father were married when I was born. So this is the first part. Stay tuned for the second part. Please like, follow, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys. See you on part 2.